live stream, and I've got to figure out how to get my chat up on this. Bear with me for a second. Let me see if I can figure this out. Oh my goodness, this is such a mess. Hey, there it is. What's up, Matt Carville? Hey, I got some chat. You guys type some stuff in the chat box. Even if you just type like periods and A's, so I can make sure that I have my chat feed up and running on my phone here. All right. Well, nobody else. Hey, there we go. All right. Nick, come on. Y'all are going to have to deal with me doing this because the chat on my phone is really small. And normally I have my computer right here. So now every time somebody sends a message, I'm going to be like, huh? So we're going to be dealing with that tonight. I apologize for that. It's always kind of a haphazard, we just piece it together. We're making this up as we go along completely. So hope you guys are enjoying it anyway. What up, Laugh Jay? Jay Lafferty, what's going on, buddy? Hope you've been catching some fish. Man, there's a lot of y'all coming in. That's awesome. Let's jump. We'll give it a few minutes. Give it a few minutes. Let a few more people get in before we do top 5 baits. Somebody ask me a question, I'll answer it. We'll knock a couple questions out before we get started on top 5 baits. No questions. Questions. Man, we got a bunch of folks coming in here tonight. Y'all just doing it up. Your Lake Fork Guide channel trying to grow or something. That's what I like to see. Baits for bass? All right. I guess we're going to stop top 5 baits. Hey, tell us about the 10-3 from Saturday. Hey, somebody follows Facebook. Somebody follows Facebook and Instagram. If you guys don't know, you can also follow me on Facebook at Your Lake Fork Guide, Instagram at Your Lake Fork Guide. Sam Hall said he was only about 30 yards away when she caught the fish. Sam Halls? Okay, so that was Sam Halls. I was trying to figure out who that was. I knew I recognized you, but I couldn't figure out who it was. Yeah, 10-3. There was a lady, a husband and wife, that booked me for a guide trip. And the wife caught a 10.30 pound gargantuan. If you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I posted video, pictures, several pictures, a couple different videos of the fish. That's the biggest fish that's been an old red so far this year. So it was an incredible fish. It was certainly one of the most beautiful fish I've ever seen. There was hardly any marks on her. She was very dark. And whoever asked last week about will the Skiers Owner Tournament be won shallow or deep? Well, we caught that fish in 3 foot of water. So, who knows? Ready. All right, sorry. Y'all got to deal with me looking at comments on the phone tonight. Let's get top 5 baits going, and then I'll answer all your questions, because it looks like we got a pretty full house already. So, hey, man, about to beat up my garage. Top 5 baits. First one is for on our bright, sunshiny days, especially once you get past the early morning hours, we're going out deep. And really, you can catch fish on a Carolina rig, but if you want to catch the type of fish you're coming to Lake Fork for, a structure jig, football jig. This is that 3/4 ounce hybrid jig. Does the same thing as a football jig. And I've switched over from the green and the brown to kind of the Okeechobee type colors. Green pumpkin with some blue flake on the bottom half. And I'm using an Okeechobee Crawl Strike King Rage Crawl for the trailer. Very, very slow dragging retrieve is how I'm catching them right now. Use your electronics. If those fish are suspended, don't be scared to stroke that jig. But the ones that I'm seeing on the graph right now are just glued to the bottom. So we're just dragging that jig as slow as we can stand to drag it. But a 3/4 ounce football jig is getting it done on the big fish out deep right now. And I'm catching a few doing that every once in a while, but there's a lot of guys that only fish deep this time of year. Some of these other guys out here that just, that's where they want to be, and they spend their time out there. And, man, they're stroking them on them football jigs. All right. So, shifting gears from that, we got old Yellow Belly. And I had a customer the other day. He was so excited that he got to fish with old Yellow Belly all day. And then when he found out this wasn't the original Yellow Belly, that I'd gone through like 20 of them in my lifetime or something, that this wasn't the original first Yellow Belly, he was very upset. But I'll have you know, if you watch tomorrow's video, you will see that even this Yellow Belly Junior times 20 catches fish too, because we caught a couple on it this morning, and I was filming this morning. So, old Yellow Belly, we're starting our mornings out. That frog is a good option. And then when the sun gets up too high, or maybe the wind's blowing too hard, and you still want to fish some of that shallow grass, I got a 3/8 ounce chatterbait. This is actually a brand new brand of chatterbait. This one's called Japanese Underground, and there's actually no website for it, so I apologize for that. But if you guys want to check out these chatterbaits, I know that LFT has some at the store, and they got them right up there on the counter displayed. So check them out. It's called Japanese Underground. They're an imported chatterbait. Man, they work really well. We've been catching some fish on the days when it's tough and we can't catch them on anything else. It's that and the next bait that I'm fixing to show you that are saving our days for us. The old wacky worm. This is just a wacky trick worm with that Gamakatsu finesse wide gap weedless hook, half of a nail weight in the head right there. And if you guys just scroll a few videos back on the channel page when we're done here, you'll see a how-to, in-depth how-to from my buddy Zach Watts on the wacky worm, and he's an absolute expert with the wacky worm, and he broke it down in depth, you know, Guides Network style like we do here. So make sure to check that video out if you're unfamiliar with the wacky worm. But on those days when it's bright, sunshiny, and I can't find them deep, and I just got to find some bites, the wacky worm and the chatterbait have been my saving grace. One day one's better than the other. Usually when it's windy, the chatterbait does it. Usually when it's just flat, calm, and sunny, got to go to that wacky worm. And last, but certainly not least, finally we've got enough mats that there's some areas that we can do some punching. That's a 1 ounce tungsten. That's an LFT flipper. It's a 4/0 heavy duty Mustad flipping hook. I'm using that hook. I'm also using that Hayabusa hook. We saw that Hayabusa hook last year for a little bit. It again is from Japan, and it kind of ran out of stock last year and we couldn't get them anymore. Well, now they're back in. LFT has some Hayabusa hooks up there at the store, and I'm using the 5/0 straight shank in their hooks. Their hooks run a little thinner than this. This Mustad's a heavy duty short shank flipping hook, and then the Hayabusa 5/0 straight shank flipping hook. Make sure you put your bobber stopper up there to peg your weight. See that? That bobber stopper right there? Cinch that down on your weight just like so. That'll keep it from sliding up and down the line. And find you some mats and go to punching. We're finally catching some good fish punching. And that is something that if you guys will take the time to learn how to feel that bite and learn how to do it, that'll give you fish that nobody else is fishing for. There's just not that many people that, you know, on a day in, day out basis that'll go out there and punch. It's a hard way to fish. It wears your patience. It's tough fishing in that heavy cover. You're going to lose a lot of fish. But, man, you can get bites that nobody else is getting if you learn how to punch. All right, let's answer some questions. I'm going to go backwards, and I apologize for sticking my finger in the phone the whole time, but that's what we're going to have to do today. Hey, somebody bought a new to them Skeeter. Can I help you with deciding what line to use for what lures? Hey, man, if you'll give me some lures, I'll be happy to tell you what line I prefer to use on them. That's just, honestly, it's just too broad of a question. I could talk for hours about that. So list me off a few lures, and I'll be happy to tell you which line I use for them. Agreed, bad glare. What's bright? Oh, the comment is bright. Hey, let me put that garage door down right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't lose you. Oh my goodness. Garage door killing it. My bad on that, guys. Yep, sorry about that. Yes, that lady was screaming her brains out when she caught that 10-pounder. I'm going backwards in the comments trying to find questions. The last lake, wow, that skipped on me. Hey, stop skipping around, comments. The last lake I fished had a bunch of moss-type grass on almost every bank. What's that stuff called? Snot grass. That's what I've always called it. The stuff that just kind of wads up on your bait and just can't even fish it. You can't do nothing with it. It just real soft, kind of slimy stuff. I call it snot grass always. I don't know what the scientific name is. Am I going to be at the Skeeter Owners Tournament? I have lettuce. Who said lettuce? Dude, comment of the night right there. Lettuce. Am I going to be at the Skeeter Owners Tournament? So on the Skeeter Owners Tournament, I have a half-day trip the Saturday morning. I have a trip on Friday. I will be there Saturday afternoon, and I will be there as much as I can. Try to be there the full day. On Sunday. So if you see me, please come say hi. I would love to meet everybody. In fact, I may even carry some stuff around in my pocket to give you guys. Anyway, we could get some swim bait action going on in a couple days on our little, oh, okay, Joe Leahy, we're going on a trip. Oh, Mojo Fishing going on a trip with me on Monday. Swim bait action? You can. I mean, it's if you want to swing for the fences and try for one bite, it's there to be had. It just takes a lot of patience. You're not going to get very many bites right now, but there are some big fish up in that grass that would eat a swim bait right now, so you can definitely give it your best effort if that's what you want to do, buddy. If that's what you want to do, we'll do it all day because it's your day, dog. D.W. Matthews, you see me and Birch throwing a baby duck? Man, I don't own any of them duck lures. And don't you dare tell anybody what I was really throwing. I'm just kidding. I'll tell you guys what I was throwing. Best month in the fall to come fish with me. For shallow fishing, no deep fishing. Oh, man. In the fall, there's always some of both, Jay Laugh. In the fall, we kind of always do both. But I'll tell you what, if you want to do that, hit me up in November. Anytime in November, we should be able to go get all the shallow water fishing done that you want to do. We usually get the big swim bait bite going on. Sometimes we get a little frog bite going on. We can do some shallow water fishing and catch some big heads in November, as long as the water doesn't drop a whole bunch. If the water drops a bunch and the lake's low, it's going to be some deep fishing to catch bigger fish. But as long as the lake's full and we still got the grass, which we should, we're getting plenty of rain this year. November's the month. Hey, hold on. Well, this is very difficult on the phone. I got to have the computer ready next time. I work for the radio station that covers the fishing tournament on Fork. Would you want to hop on air for an interview at the tournament? I would absolutely. K-Moo, man, I love K-Moo. 99.9 out of Mineola, Texas. Yes, I will do an interview. Hey, my phone number is very much out there. It's on most of my videos. So the Chop 14, check out one of my videos. Watch at the end. My phone number comes up. My website's linked in all the descriptions on my regular videos and online feeds. So get a hold of me, text me, call me, whatever. And we will definitely do an interview during the tournament for sure. Offshore, what's the difference between humps and long flat points if they are both in 20 to 25 feet? Okay. The difference in points and humps. Points offer a wider variety because a point, by its nature, they will use to travel up and down from shallow to deep, all the way from the shallowest to shallow to the deepest to deep. So say you got a long point at the mouth of a pocket. When they get done spawning, they'll come out to that point, and at first they'll be up shallow, and they will work their way out deep. And they'll utilize that whole point, whereas a hump, if it tops out in 20 foot, if it tops out in 15 foot, they're only using that top part, and then they're suspending off the sides. The only time I fish for fish on a hump is if they're positioned on the very top or just right off the sides of the very top. They have to be relating to the very top of the hump before I use it. With a point, that's not always necessarily the case. Sometimes they can be on the sides of it and you can still catch them. That's a very, very good question. As far as when to fish them, typically when they're traveling, spawn, post-spawn, pre-spawn, post-spawn, and then fall migrations, that's when you want to utilize points, humps, pond dams, road beds. They tend to utilize those more in the summertime and in the dead of winter. So when they're not traveling, but they're just looking for an easy place to move up and feed, and then move back out and suspend or get deep, whatever they want to do. So there's your difference. API, oh, you fishing API at Fork? Hey, man, I will be out at Fork. If you're fishing API and you see me, holler at your boy. K-Moo! Be out there. Okay, Chop 14 is going to be out there hosting on Sunday. Yep, holler at me, Chop 14. We'll get it up. We'll do it. Talk a little fishing. Talk whatever you guys want to talk, man. We can talk old school country music, Texas country music. I can sing Randy Rogers for you on the radio live. I don't care. I'll do it all, man. Jack of all trades, and I ain't shy. Y'all tune in to K-Moo in between weigh-ins. You can hear old Billy Lawson singing. All right. Any more questions, or if any questions I missed, just retype them real quick, and I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this thing up here pretty quick. Last call for alcohol. All right. That being said, really appreciate you guys watching this live feed. Good questions tonight. Very, very good questions tonight. We appreciate the new crowd. If this is your first live stream, thank you very much for joining. And guys, we are full-time now. We've got some dates open within the next couple weeks. I think the next available date is like June 15th and 16th. They're my next two available days. But we have several days at the end of June and a lot of days in July. And so if you guys want to book, if you want to get your fall trip lined up right now for the fall, or even if you want to book as far out as next spring, man, we'll get you down on the books, get you lined up, make sure that you guys get a chance to come fish with me, and we will chase those fish, and I guarantee you we will have at least as much, if not more fun than any boat on Lake Fork. It's hard to guarantee fish catches, but we will guarantee fun in my boat. How about that? Do I know any Jason Boland? Do I know? Y'all want me to sing right now, don't you? I feel this coming. Somebody's going to tell me to sing right now on the live stream. Yes, I know Jason Boland. I know a lot of his stuff. Yeah, I'm upset about that big swim bait. Zach Watts. Just thinking Zach Watts took my freaking gliding gizzard. Yeah, I'm not happy. Luckily, I have 4. I own 4. I kept 3 in the boat, and 1 was always in the garage. Now I got 3 in the boat and none in the garage. They sprayed the lake for what lake did they spray? They sprayed Fork. They didn't spray the area of Fork I'm fishing. I can tell you that. They sprayed it yet. They might be going to. And if I catch them out there in that airboat, no, it's nothing you can do. As far as what do I think about it when they spray for weeds, it's out of your control. Don't worry about it. Fish the conditions you're presented. If they kill a bunch of grass, get out of the area and go fish somewhere else. That's all you can do, brother. Can't waste time getting upset about it. There's a lot of different ways to catch them on a lake like Fork. All right. Alrighty, boys. That's it. I'm not singing Jason Boland, but I do know words. I will sing if they ask me to on the radio. So you guys tune into K-Moo on Sunday and listen for that. And watch for the video coming out tomorrow. Oh, if you're in Emory, Texas, tomorrow night, 6 p.m., live seminar at Lake Fork Tackle Store in Emory, Texas. Myself, Mike McFarland, is going to cover some offshore structure, He's going to go more in depth than he did last time. So if you're there 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, you want to be here for this one because Mike's going to extend and go further into detail on what he was talking about. And Ron Grantham from Real Time Rods is going to talk about rods, reels, and lines and setting them up and maintenance and all that stuff. So be some good info for absolutely free, brought to you by Lake Fork Trophy Lures and your Lake Fork Guide. We appreciate you watching as always, and we will see you next time right here on your Lake Fork Guide.